Good morning, friends. You crack 2 eggs into the pan. A little salt, a little pepper, maybe some toast on the side. It's your go-to breakfast. Quick, familiar, and honestly, it feels healthy. But here's the part no one tells you. That innocent plate might be why your legs feel weaker these days. Strange, right? Eggs are packed with protein. They've been praised as a perfect food for decades. So how could they be connected to the fact that your stairs feel steeper, your knees a little shakier, your balance a bit more off? Here's the truth. After 60, your legs are the first to fade. Not your arms, not your abs. Your legs lose muscle faster than any other part of your body. And that process, called sarcopenia, starts quietly. And while eggs can help maintain muscle, eating them alone creates an imbalance in the nutrients your body needs to stay strong. Think of eggs like the engine, but without oil, without tires, without alignment. That car's going nowhere. In this video, we'll reveal the 3 essential foods you must add to your routine if you eat eggs regularly. Foods that fill in the gaps, boost leg strength, support recovery, and keep you moving confidently through your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Because yes, your legs are the foundation of your independence. And every bite you take is either building that foundation or slowly letting it crumble. Ready to take your breakfast and your strength to the next level? Let's begin. Why legs weaken first after 60? Let me take you back to a moment you might know all too well. You're standing at the foot of a staircase. Not too long ago, you'd walk up those steps without a second thought. But now, there's a hesitation. It's not just the knees or the joints. It's something deeper. It's that subtle loss of power, that fading push from the thighs, the quiet wobble in the calves. You pause, not because you're afraid, but because something feels off. What you're experiencing isn't weakness, it's a message. After 60, your legs become one of the first places to reflect changes in your overall vitality. It's not random. There's science behind it. The medical term is sarcopenia, a gradual decline in muscle mass that begins as early as your 30s but speeds up later in life, especially in the lower half of the body. Why the legs? Because they do the heavy lifting. They move you, balance you, ground you. But here's the part most people miss. This isn't a punishment for aging. It's an opportunity because the body is still listening, still responding, still capable of rebuilding strength if you give it the right tools. And those tools aren't just in the gym. They're in your kitchen, in your glass of water, in the decisions you make every morning. Let me say something that might change the way you see your own body. Your legs aren't the problem. They're the warning system. And if they're getting quieter, shakier, or slower, don't ignore them. They're not failing. They're asking for your attention. And that's exactly what we're giving them today. So now you understand the legs aren't just muscles. They're messengers. And when they start to weaken, it's not only age knocking on your door, it's your nutrition, your habits, your choices whispering for change. But where do we begin making that change? Surprisingly, we don't have to look far. In fact, we start at the same breakfast plate that so many of us trust, with eggs. Eggs are powerful, no doubt about it. But when eaten without the right support, they can create imbalances inside your body that silently work against your strength. The first red flag, a nutrient mix-up that might be happening without you even knowing. Let's talk about one of the most common and most overlooked mistakes seniors make with eggs: the disruption of your body's delicate electrolyte balance. It's mistake number 1. Eggs without balance equal electrolyte disruption. Let's pause for a moment and talk about something that rarely gets mentioned on your breakfast plate: electrolytes. Not exactly the first thing that comes to mind when you crack open an egg, right? But here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Your muscles run on more than just protein.
they run on balance. Now, eggs are excellent in many ways. They give you protein, B vitamins, and healthy fats, but they're missing something critical: potassium and magnesium, two electrolytes that regulate muscle contractions, nerve signals, and hydration. Without them, even the best high-protein meal can leave your body in a state of imbalance, quietly draining strength instead of building it. Have you felt your legs tighten for no reason? Woken up with an unexplained cramp in the middle of the night? Struggled to feel stable while walking, even when you've been eating healthy? That's not age, that's your body signaling a shortage, an internal imbalance triggered not by too much of something, but by not enough of the right companions. Here's the reality. When you eat eggs by themselves every day, without pairing them with potassium-rich foods, you're putting your muscles at a disadvantage. Your body needs those electrolytes to function smoothly. And without them, muscles can become twitchy, tight, even vulnerable to fatigue and injury. But the solution, it's simple. Add color, add plants, add hydration. Just one banana provides a powerful potassium punch. A handful of spinach adds magnesium and iron. A few slices of avocado bring in healthy fats and potassium too. Pair any of these with your eggs, and suddenly you're not just eating, you're strategizing. Because staying strong after 60 isn't about doing more, it's about doing it smarter. And smart strength starts with smart balance.
Mistake number 2: high choline, low hydration. You've been told eggs are good for your brain, and it's true. The nutrient choline, found abundantly in egg yolks, is a champion for mental clarity, focus, and memory retention, especially for those of us past 60. But here's what almost no one tells you. Choline is a team player, not a solo act. And if you're not drinking enough water to support it, your body could be quietly paying the price. Let's break this down. Choline helps form a key neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which your body uses to send messages between nerves and muscles. But here's the catch. When choline isn't metabolized efficiently, especially in dehydrated conditions, your body begins producing compounds like TMAO that can interfere with muscle responsiveness. That means your brain may be firing the signal, but your legs, they're not catching it the way they should. To make it crystal clear, you can eat eggs daily, but if you're not hydrating properly, you might still feel sluggish, unsteady, or weak in your legs. Here's a comparison that might stick with you. Picture choline as the electricity and water as the wiring. Without the wiring in place, that electricity has nowhere to go. Your muscles stay dim. They underperform. They cramp. They tire out sooner. You might even blame aging, but what you're really dealing with is a lack of hydration harmony. Still not convinced? Think about your daily routine. Do you eat your eggs with coffee? Maybe orange juice? Do you forget to drink water until later in the day? That delay is enough to rob your muscles of what they need right now. And the truth is, hydration isn't just about drinking enough in a day. It's about timing. It's about pairing water with the very nutrients that depend on it. So, if eggs are part of your routine, and they should be, start your day with a glass of water before your first bite. Follow it with another glass mid-morning. Don't wait for thirst to be your reminder. Let function be your reason. Because choline can power the brain, but only hydration can carry that power through the body. And when you put them together, you don't just feel sharper, you move stronger. Mistake number 3. Same eggs every day each shows nutrient gaps. Let me ask you something that might sound simple on the surface, but carries a much deeper truth. What did you eat for breakfast today? If you're like millions of Americans over 60, you probably answered with a quiet chuckle and said, eggs, same as always. And listen, I get it. Eggs are reliable. They're quick to make. They're packed with protein. You can boil them, scramble them, fry them, and they've got that homey, comforting feeling attached to them. They feel like a safe food. But here's the part no one talks about. Relying on eggs every day as your primary source of nutrition can slowly create invisible cracks in your foundation. Now, I'm not saying eggs are bad. In fact, they're a fantastic source of high quality protein and choline. But when you make them your only source of protein day after day, you may be unintentionally robbing your body of the nutrient diversity it needs to maintain strong muscles, good energy, and long-term vitality. And that's where the real mistake lies, not in the eggs themselves, but in the monotony of what surrounds them. Let me tell you about Harold, 74, a retired school teacher who prided himself on having a clean, consistent morning routine. 2 eggs, whole wheat toast, coffee, every single day for over a decade. When he started experiencing stiffness in his joints and more fatigue in his legs after just a short walk, he assumed it was just age catching up with him. But after a few nutrition consults, something surprising emerged. Harold wasn't getting enough omega-3 fatty acids, plant-based antioxidants, or key micronutrients like vitamin E and magnesium, all vital for muscle repair and cellular health. His diet, though clean, had grown narrow, predictable, lacking in color. Here's what the experts say. Muscle health depends on more than protein. It needs healthy fats to reduce inflammation, antioxidants to fight cellular stress, and fiber to keep digestion smooth and absorption strong. Nutritionist Dr. Karen Smith puts it beautifully. Protein builds the structure, but antioxidants and omega-3s protect it from crumbling. Without variety, strength is unsustainable. So, what does variety really look like? It doesn't mean throwing out your eggs, it means inviting more guests to the table. If you're having eggs in the morning, ask yourself, what else is on the plate? Could you add a slice of avocado for healthy fats and potassium? Could you toss in a small handful of sautéed kale or spinach for magnesium and iron? Could you swap your toast for a slice of rye topped with hummus? Or pair your plate with a side of berries to introduce antioxidants that support recovery and immune strength. Now, imagine this instead. 1 soft-boiled egg, a spoonful of quinoa or lentils, a side of roasted sweet potato cubes, some arugula tossed with olive oil and lemon, and a few slices of fresh orange. That's not just breakfast, it's fuel. Real fuel. And beyond breakfast, think about your weekly rotation. Have you included fatty fish like salmon or sardines at least twice this week? Have you added some nuts or seeds or tried a new vegetable you haven't had in years? These aren't trendy superfoods. They're the tools your body needs to stay steady on its feet and energized through the day. Because the truth is this: repetition is easy, but resilience requires variety. When we eat the same thing every day, even something healthy, our bodies stop receiving the full spectrum of support they once did. And that lack of support doesn't shout, it whispers slowly. A missed step here, an extra ache there. The longer we ignore it, the harder it becomes to rebuild what's been lost. So I invite you to look at your plate tomorrow morning, not with guilt, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, what's missing? What color could I add? What flavor have I forgotten? Because strength after 60 isn't just about habit, it's about intention. And as Dr. Smith says, and I'll say it again because it's that important, a diverse plate fosters resilient muscles. Let's start building that plate, not just for strength today, but for freedom tomorrow. The muscle protecting breakfast plate. Picture this. It's early morning. The sunlight is just beginning to stretch across the kitchen floor. You sit down at your table with a familiar plate, 2 eggs, maybe some toast, a warm cup of coffee. It's your routine. It's what you know. And for years, it felt like enough. But now, your legs don't feel the same. They're slower to respond, quicker to tire. You're not weak, no. But something shifted. And deep down, you know that strength isn't just about age, it's about choices. And the good news? It's not too late to make better ones. What if I told you that the secret to stronger legs, sharper energy, and a steadier stride could begin with a single plate, not a drastic overhaul, not some expensive superfood, just a thoughtful combination of foods working together in harmony. Let's build what I call the muscle protecting breakfast plate, a meal designed specifically for you to nourish not just your hunger, but your muscles, your energy systems, and even your mind. This isn't just about food, it's about function, about freedom, and about feeling like yourself again. Step 1. Begin with one perfectly boiled egg, not two, not overloaded with cheese or oils, just one egg, soft or hard boiled, delivers clean, bioavailable protein. It gives your muscles the amino acids they crave to rebuild and maintain mass, especially important as the natural aging process begins to chip away at strength over time. But protein alone isn't the full answer. It's only the starting note in the melody. Step 2. Add half an avocado, sliced or mashed. Here's where the magic deepens. Avocado brings in monounsaturated fats, anti-inflammatory, heart-loving fats that help your body use protein more effectively. It also contains potassium, a vital mineral that supports nerve-muscle communication and prevents cramps. Think of it as the gentle oil in your body's machine, keeping everything smooth, balanced, and mobile. Step 3. Toast one slice of hearty whole grain bread. Muscle strength isn't just about rebuilding, it's also about fueling movement. Whole grains offer complex carbohydrates that break down slowly, giving you sustained energy without the sugar spikes. They also carry B vitamins, essential for metabolizing nutrients into usable energy. And unlike refined white bread, whole grains contribute to digestive health and blood sugar stability, both critical for overall energy. Step 4. Layer on a handful of fresh spinach. Yes, even at breakfast. Spinach is a muscle-friendly green packed with magnesium, iron, and antioxidants. These nutrients help transport oxygen through your blood, support muscle contraction, and fight off the invisible cellular stress that accelerates aging. Whether you gently wilt it on toast or toss it beside your egg, spinach brings your breakfast to life in a deeply functional way. Step 5. Don't forget a full glass of water. It's tempting to skip this step. Many older adults don't feel thirsty in the morning, but that doesn't mean their bodies aren't dehydrated. Muscles are made of water. Without hydration, nutrients can't move efficiently, and even a perfectly balanced plate won't perform at its peak. Sip slowly, breathe deeply, and let this become your new ritual. Now pause. Look at this plate. It's not a trend, it's not a gimmick, it's wisdom. Nutrition crafted to meet the real needs of a body that's aging, yes, but still capable, still strong, still alive with potential. And perhaps most important of all, this breakfast is doable. You don't need to overhaul your pantry or follow complicated instructions. You simply need to be intentional. Start small, start where you are, and build from there. Because strength after 60 doesn't come from a gym alone. It begins at your kitchen table. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for the frying pan or the bread box, ask yourself, not just, well, what do I feel like eating, but what does my body need from me today? Because when we stop feeding out of habit and start feeding with purpose, something beautiful happens. Our body starts to respond. Our legs move with more ease. Our mind feels more alert. Our confidence returns. And that's what the muscle protecting breakfast plate is all about. Not perfection, but empowerment through nourishment. 7-day leg strength challenge. Let's take the next 7 days and turn intention into habit. No pressure, no perfection, just a quiet promise between you and your body. Here's the challenge. Each morning for 1 week, create the muscle-protecting breakfast plate. That single plate isn't just a meal, it's a message to your muscles,
your energy systems, and your sense of independence. You're saying, I'm here, I'm paying attention, and I choose to care for myself. As you move through the week, take a moment, just 2 or 3 minutes each morning or evening, to jot down how you feel. Nothing formal. A few lines in a notebook, even a note on your phone. How do your legs feel when you first stand? Are you walking with a little more ease? Less fatigue in the afternoon? A clearer head? More grounded energy? You might not notice dramatic change on day 1, but somewhere around day 3 or day 5, something subtle begins to shift. A little more confidence when you bend down to pick something up. A bit more steadiness when you step off a curb. It's in these quiet improvements that real progress is born. This challenge is more than food. It's about awareness. It's about honoring your body with consistency. Because when you nourish your body the right way, your body responds with gratitude, in strength, in steadiness, in stamina. So take this 1 week, start small, stay curious, and let your meals become a form of self-respect because you've carried so much through life. And now it's time to give your legs what they've given you all these years: support, strength, and a future that still moves forward. Your legs deserve more than protein. They deserve strategy. Think about everything your legs have carried you through. The steps you've taken toward people you love. The gardens you've tended with your bare hands. The long walks home. The dances you didn't plan. The mornings when just standing tall meant everything. Now ask yourself this: shouldn't those legs be treated with more than just routine? More than just eggs on a plate? They deserve intention. They deserve a plan. They deserve strategy. Because strength doesn't vanish in a day. It fades silently, beneath the surface, when we're too distracted to notice. But the beauty is, it can return. All it takes is a shift in awareness, a new way to build your breakfast, a reason to listen closer to the body that has served you all these years. This isn't about food, it's about freedom. The freedom to walk through the park without fear of falling, the freedom to dance without holding on, the freedom to wake up and say, yes, I feel strong today. And that freedom, it starts with your choices at the table. Because when you give your body balance, it gives you movement. When you feed your muscles wisely, they respond with grace. So let this be more than a video. Let it be a turning point. Tell me, have you noticed how food affects your legs? What's changed? What's awakening again? Leave a comment and join the conversation. And if this message resonated, like subscribe and share it with someone who still believes their best days are ahead, because they are. Your legs have more life in them than you think. All they need is a little help from you.